Right, yesterday we started on the topic of compassion, beginning with probably the all-important question, why? Why do we study, practice compassion, and getting a sense of where it fits in the whole scheme of our training, mindfulness, compassion, insight, wisdom. Went through that. Then we looked at some definitions so as to dispel the operational, what was it? The inoperable objective. So that we could get a real sense of what it means when we've got round that long word. And it's actually more important than we may realize to digest this definition and bring it into a form which we can relate to and work with, so that we understand that compassion is something very individual, personal, immediate in our life experience, and not some distant, lofty goal that we probably won't get to. And particularly what we looked at there was this tendency of the mind to project a sense of needing to be perfect. You know, a lot of people when they say, oh, I'm doing compassion training or something like that, immediately put on this cap, I am now compassionate. And the world supports this. You know, many people who've been training in meditation or mindfulness come back after the second or third session and say, you know, my husband or wife's giving me a hard time because I go home and I behave normally, and then the partner says, you're supposed to be doing mindfulness, and look what you're doing. You lose your temper, you get angry, you do all these things. So people have these expectations that as soon as you start, you're going to be at the result. So our minds probably do that to us, and we may not recognize it. So we let ourselves off that hook. It is a process of training, and it's a graduated process. And we keep reminding ourselves of that, because that in itself is very compassionate. You don't impose unrealistic expectations on yourself, because if you do, you simply torment yourself. So we accept we're imperfect human beings, we're doing our best, and we're going to move along a graduated path. That then helps us dispel misconceptions about compassion and the compassion training. Then we looked at the fact that compassion is innate, that some of us, in fact most of us, already have quite a lot of compassion. It's just a case of recognizing it for what it is and then learning to build on it. So you can see that all these steps we've discussed so far are part of the process of establishing firm ground for being able to do the more technical aspects of training and moving on. Then the orientation and motivation, reminding ourselves that we really do want others to be happy. We really do want to become compassionate. And constantly bringing our attention back to that, so that our aspiration, our motivation, our intention gets really strongly established, particularly in times when we think we're losing it. We might feel that we failed or something like that. Then we just remind ourselves, well, that is my intention, I want to be, so I'll just keep on with the training.